continue with Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and our topic is right. It's same topic. It's not such a simple topic, but we're trying to simplify the idea. So it's about a topic is hiring, lending, and or leasing to an idolater, right? So we're talking about to an idolater on Shabbos, of course. So it's like what we can do: hiring, lending, leasing, okay, to idolater on Shabbos. Okay, and so I just recently, I have to say it. So we're trying to do some work, some editing, some translation, and this word idolater is very misleading in my. I mean, I'm going to continue it, but this idolater is very misleading, right? Because somebody said to us, no, but it's about idolaters. I said, okay, but you're not Jew. He said, yeah, I'm not Jew. I'm nochad. I'm not an idolater. So if that person meant like idolater, meaning the idol worshiper. Okay, but he said that person said I'm nochad, so I'm not an idolater, so it does not belong to me. So this term, I mean, I think it's confusing for some people. But when we say idolater, we mean non-Jew. We don't put anybody down, but that's the category. There are a category of Jews and non-Jews. That's it. If he's idol worshiper, it would say clearly idol worshiper. Okay. Okay. So very interesting. So I asked that person don't say idolater just in those texts, just replace it with a non-Jew. It would be clear to everybody. Okay. So number 9. In the case of Craftsman, who is an idolater, who made a garment for a Jew and delivered it to him on Shabbos, it is permitted to wear the garment on Shabbos. So, you see, it's not so simple. And if it is known that he completed it on Shabbos, one should not wear it unless there is a great need. However, if it is forbidden to pick up utensil or clothing from the house or a shop of the craftsman, even from a Jewish craftsman, on Shabbos or Yom Tov. Regarding idolater who is not a craftsman but has a shop from which he sells shoes or the like, it is permitted for a Jew who is familiar with him and trusted by idolater to take shoes from him on Shabbos without paying for them, and wear them on Shabbos. This is allowed, provided that he does not fix a price with him on Shabbos. Continue. And also that they are not items that are brought from outside of Tchum on Shabbos. Okay, so I mean, we can understand it's a lot of information, Baruch HaShem. So let's try it from the beginning. So basically, idea is like that. So a Jew can get a thing that he did not have on Shabbos, or it did not belong to him, in some sense on Shabbos, and it was in possession of a non-Jew, and let's say he did not pay, and but there was an agreement to pay later, or in general. Or it is understandable that he is going to pay. So when somebody goes to somebody's store, so of course the store owner yes, he's nice. I mean, he does not ask you for money right away. You start taking things from the shelves and put let's say a new bag or something. Of course he understand. Everybody understand that you're going to pay, right? So and then this non-Jew understand that you're not going to pay now, but you're going to pay a little later, after Shabbos. So let's do from the beginning and with commentary and explanations. In the case of the craftsman who is an idolater, who makes a garment for a Jew and delivers it to him on Shabbos. So meaning, most likely, in my mind, most likely this garment was ready before Shabbos, and do we tell him to deliver to us on Shabbos? No. right? So he said, look, I need to work on it. I'm going to bring whenever I'm ready. So today we have cell phones or regular phones, so we can call each other and find out, are you home? I'm planning to stop by and drop off this suit, whatever, right? In olden days there was no such a thing, right? So the person would just come, period, right? So the suit is ready. So he said, I'm going to come. I'm going to bring it over when it's ready. So he comes. Right on Shabbos. So that's the situation. Does not mean that he finished just half an hour ago. It means that he came now. Okay. Maybe he finished, but maybe not. And we did not ask him, of course, to work on Shabbos. So again, in case of a craftsman who is idolater and who made the garment for a Jew, so it's in general, made the garment in general, and not delivered it to him on Shabbos, it is permitted to wear the garment on Shabbos. Right. So I mean, there is no explanation, but I think that since it was already paid, or like it's almost paid, right? So there is this and probably the material was Jewish, right? The Jewish owner gave a material and like threads or something. So could be also the case. But if it is known that he completed it on Shabbos, one should not wear it. So maybe he did the last stitching, last ironing. Okay, so he should not wear it unless there is a great need. So technically, as we see, he is allowed to wear. Commentary. He has nothing else to wear on Shabbos. See Bir Halacha 252.4. Okay. Under ordinary circumstances, a Jew may not benefit from any work that has been done for the second Shabbos, for his second Shabbos. So in general, right? It's halacha number 9. We repeat it many times, right? So, but there is an exception. So in general, I guess, just 1 second, may not benefit. Under ordinary circumstances, a Jew may not benefit from any work that was done for his second Shabbos. Furthermore, he may not wear it after Shabbos until enough time has been elapsed for the work that was done for him on Shabbos could have been done after Shabbos. So meaning, as we said, this concept, if somebody did something for us on Shabbos, we did not ask, okay, but he did it anyway, right? So we are allowed to use it after Shabbos, but only when we allow the time to pass, meaning what? That, let's say, this non-Jew spent 3 hours fixing this suit or something, right? They did whatever. So we need to wait 3 hours, like after end of the Shabbos. So even if he would start like right after the Shabbos, so it would be ready in 3 hours. So that's the case. And same with food. Sometimes they will get you food that they baked on Shabbos. They say, look, it's fresh. You see how fresh? It's still steaming. Right, it is fresh, but we cannot eat it. If only the finishing touch were added on Shabbos, such as shining or completing pair of shoes, the item may be worn. Mishnah Berurah 252 Torah. So meaning it's not considered like meaning the item was ready. Meaning the shining of the shoes does not change the quality. I mean, right, anything, right? So the shoes were wearable even without shining. Okay. Continue. All right. So. However, it is forbidden to pick up utensil or clothing from the house or shop of the craftsman. So, I mean, if they bring it to you, like after the fact, you did not ask them, but you can accept, right? You can accept. Or, for example, they bring you the packages, UPS or the delivery package. Right, so are you allowed to accept? Yeah, you're allowed to accept. You're not allowed to sign for them, even if they ask, right? But you explain that today's Shabbos I cannot sign, but if you want to move it into your house, so I mean sometimes in where we live they don't bring it into the house, they just leave it before the door, like in front of the door. Okay, so So, but they left it in front of the door, but you can push it with your feet. There's no problem. It's not considered be carrying. Right? So, especially if you have a roof or you have a roof, or it's like it's much easier. But with the feet, no problem. Okay. One second. Right, it was 25. Continue. However, it is forbidden to pick up utensil or clothing from the house of the craftsman. So again, to them we cannot go, even from the Jewish craftsman. I'm not sure what's the difference between Jewish and non-Jewish. Okay. On Shabbos, on Yom Tov. Okay, so let's see what is the difference. I mean, you cannot ask a Jew to do things for you. You cannot ask non-Jew things to do for you, right? I mean, it would be, I guess, more restrictive to deal with the Jew than to deal with the non-Jew. But he says even from Jewish craftsmen, so meaning implying that it should be opposite. The Jewish craftsman situation should be like more lenient. 26 commentary. Pick up these items on Shabbat gives the impression that the work was done on Shabbos, so at the behest of a Jew. So meaning, right? He said, "Yeah, come. I'm working on it right now. Come by 2 p.m. and it should be ready." Okay, so guess what? He was working on Shabbos. This is forbidden even if the work was completed before Shabbos, and even if there needs garments on Shabbos. So because, right, so meaning even what's done before Shabbos, it looks too much like, I mean, like it's, the whole transaction is being like behind the closing door, or if he goes to the store, doesn't matter, right? So, right, everybody would suspect that the work was done on Shabbos. He may also not don the garments inside the craftsman's house and then wear it home, right? So I mean, right, the carrying is a different story, of course. Okay. So continue. Regarding idolater who is not a craftsman but has a shop, so just a shopkeeper, like he's not making these items, he just sells them, from which he sells the shoes or the like from the shop. It is permitted for a Jew who is familiar with him and is trusted by idolater to take shoes from him on Shabbos without paying for them and wear them on Shabbos. Simishna Brura 253 who cites many halachic authorities who prohibit this. Rabbinic authorities should be consulted. I was also like, I mean, if he has no other shoes and that's it, so maybe there's an exception, but we have a rule. Don't remember where exactly we learned, but we said the rule is don't wear new shoes on Shabbos, never ever. Why? Because maybe they're not going to fit. You get the blisters, and I guess what, in the middle of the road, like walking to shul, walking from your shul, you cannot walk any longer. Like today, they make these shoes so comfortable, so perfect, with leather or even fabric, so perfect, so nice and comfy. It's unbelievable. But in my days, like it was younger, it was like a killer. So you get a new shoes, for sure you're going to get blisters and bloody feet like for some time, for sure. It's there's no maybe. Even leather was so stiff. I don't know, like crazy. So that's why before my time, of course, it was even worse. That's why, as I just said, you're not allowed to wear the shoes on Shabbos for the first time, right? Why? Because you might get ridiculed by people, right? I mean, you would want to take them off and walk barefoot, and right, and that's the problem. Okay. So let me just quickly read this 26 to see if we commented on everything. Pick up of this item of Shabbos gives the impression that the work's done on Shabbos, so meaning when Jew goes to non-Jew, right? Right, I know we said that. So in right, and Mishnah Berurah said so. There is a problematic with shoes, but with other things we said in other learnings that there is no problem. So if he needs really need something for like a food item on Shabbos, so it would be allowed. So this non-Jew knows that what is it? This Jew, so you know your last name, so you will ask, what is your last name? Okay, thank you. Okay, so no problems. He knows that the Jew would come, he would send a kid or something, like somebody would come and bring him money. Right? Jews do not steal. Okay. Continue. This is allowed provided. So as I said, I'm amazed. Like in this, like in some supermarkets, they still have the tab, so people buy on credit for sure. Like the not in all of them, not in all of them, but like the old style ones, they right away ask you the phone number. You give them the phone number. It's like like nowhere ever like in a non-Jewish supermarket, nobody asks you phone number. Nobody cares like who, like what is your phone number, right? But they always ask, right? Always ask. Why? But they see if you owe them some money. And people honest, and I saw a few times people pay like said how much is the bill? I say like $178. Okay, you know what? This is this, and plus I want to pay $200 toward my bill, like extra, right? So of course you understand, person is not covering all outstanding balance, but that's how they do, right? So continue. It is allowed. It is allowed. So maybe we continue about these shoes, provided that he does not fix a price for Siman Shabbos. So meaning, I mean, the way I see it, like today, usually there is a price tag on the shoes, right? And so sometimes, like if it's like smaller business, like if it's a big business, like a supermarket or like not supermarket, but a big store, like clothing chain stores, are like you understand that this is the price. When you go to the smaller shop, maybe like whatever the price there, maybe they give you like 15%, 10-15% off, right? But at least you know the price, so you don't have to ask him how much is it, basically, right? So you come after Shabbos and you would pay, right? But don't talk about the price, or maybe a standard price for dress shoes such and such amount, like let's say. Right, so don't. But as we learn in this book on our Wednesday class, we said that because it was forbidden to write, right, and it looks like a transaction. So when you just take anything without paying, it's not a transaction. So transaction is complete when you pay money, right, and when you write down things. Okay. So continue. Price on Shabbos. It is forbidden to engage in any business transaction, exactly, even if it does not involve any melacha on Shabbos. If one what does it mean? No melacha. That this guy said, okay, these shoes. So you owe me $28. I don't know, whatever, $82, whatever for the shoes. Okay, all right. So all right, and he wrote down. Did I do any melacha? No, he did, right? But still, not allowed. Okay. It is forbidden to engage in a business transaction, even does not involve any melacha. Okay. But it is a business transaction when they set the price. If one set the price for the item on Shabbos, even if it does not pay him at that time, it is considered a business transaction on Shabbos. See Mishnah Berurah 252-34, right? And below that's how the business transaction is. So you take the merchandise and now you in debt. So how you acquire that? Because of the business transaction, 100%. But if you don't talk about money, you just take that thing. Okay, so it's this business transaction is incomplete. Right, and okay, so you don't pay him right away, of course, that's obvious. You don't discuss the price, and plus one more thing, and also they were not items that are brought from outside Tchum on Shabbos. See below 95:17. Again, this prohibition we're on 73. So Tchum Shabbos is we said that there is a there is an area that we're not allowed to walk past from the outskirts of the town. So from outskirts, from I think as I said, like 70 amos, and from that 70 amos you have this Tchum Shabbos, which is approximately, we said it's 0.6 miles. It's like around 1 kilometer if you go in metric, plus minus. Right, that's why it's very interesting. In New York, you're allowed to cross the Brooklyn Bridge. There's a Brooklyn Bridge, and I think it's shorter than 0.6 miles. But there is another bridge which is called Williamsburg Bridge, which goes from Williamsburg, which is a Jewish neighborhood. Not the whole Williamsburg, but partially. Satmar Hasidim, other Hasidim as well, but Satmar is the main one. And it goes to Manhattan, Lower East Side. So it used to be very Jewish. There are still shoes there, still Jewish life, but people because it was very very expensive and the tiny space in Manhattan, so people start moving across the river. But they would come walk over this bridge to pray in shuls. I think they did some. They would establish eruv, like in the middle of the bridge. They would hide some food. That's some food, some water. That's what I guess. Okay. Okay. So number 10, next halacha, and it says items that are used for melacha, such as plow and the like. One is forbidden to rent to idolater on Erev Shabbos. For although we are not commanded that our utensils rest on Shabbos, right? There is no prohibition forbidding melacha to be done with our utensils when a Jew is not doing the melacha. For example, when melacha is being performed by idolater. Nevertheless, since the Jew is taking payment for the rental, and he rented it out on Erev Shabbos, it appears as the idolater is the agent of a Jew and working on his behalf. We're going to explain. Thursday, he is permitted to rent it to idolater. Lending item to an idolater is permitted even on Erev Shabbos, even if he is the item used for melacha, provided that the idolaters take them from the Jewish house before onset of Shabbos. Even if he stipulates that the idolater in exchange for his this favor, the idolater will lend him his own items at another time. It is permitted. If we do not say regarding such a case, and we do not say regarding such a case, that is like rental. Okay, so we're going to explain. Likewise, to rent him items that are not used for melacha is permitted on Erev Shabbos if idolaters remove them from a house of a Jew before Shabbos. Okay, so as we see, a lot of information, a lot of technical details. Baruch HaShem. So let's see from the beginning, and we're going to explain. So again, number 10. Items that are used for melacha, so for sure. So for sure, I mean the shoes. There's no melacha that you're going to do with shoes or clothing. So that from previous sieve, that's why it was safer. But here it's not, right? Plow for sure, it's one of the melachas, such as plow and the like. One is forbidden to rent the idolaters on Shabbos, or would be a car. So you have a car, and yes, he said, look, Mr. Jew, you're not using it anyway. He said, yes, so can I use it? Maybe I pay you for the day. You have a pickup truck, and they want to move the piano somewhere. Okay, possible. Totally commentary. Even if melacha is not performed directly with the item, such as a pot that is used for cooking. Again, even if melacha is not performed directly with the item, such as pot that is used for cooking, it is still forbidden. Right. So even like empty pot, to lend them an empty pot. According to some, so it's Mishnah Berurah 246:2. According to some authorities, this prohibition applies only to items that are used for melacha that are biblically forbidden, and not to items that are used for actions that are prohibited only on rabbinical decree. So now they give us like huge discount, right? So meaning according to some authorities, they say that only items that melacha is done on a biblical level is forbidden, like plow for sure, according to all of the opinions. But not some that is prohibited on a rabbinic decree. Okay, so which is good. Okay, so but plow for sure. That's why he goes from this extreme example, is of the plow. For although we are not commanded that our utensil rests on Shabbos, so only as we read on Shabbos day kiddush, right? So you, your family, your slaves, people, the gerim that live in your city, right? They should rest, right? But other your utensil, nothing is said about them. Yeah. Okay, so again, for although we're not commanded that our utensil rests on Shabbos, only like living creatures, there is no prohibition forbidding melacha to be done with the utensils when a Jew is not doing melacha. When a Jew is not doing melacha. For example, melacha is being performed by idolater, right? So in this case, the idolater comes, so meaning the Jew does not do anything, and idolater, meaning non-Jew, does it for his own benefit. Nevertheless, since the Jew is taking payment for rental, and the he rent it on Erev Shabbos, it appears that idolater is the agent of a Jew. So before we continue, so for sure it is these big items. Usually people do not lend, but usually they rent. So meaning that this guy has a plow, and it was like a investment for him. So he bought this plow, and people rent from him for a payment. So if but if a person takes an Erev Shabbos, it looks like so this Jew hired him like from by bystanders, right? So they think that the Jew hired him, and now it is his agent. So meaning tomorrow morning 6 a.m. this non-Jew is going to plow the Jewish field. So he got the plow just now, right? For sure. So for sure he's going to work on Shabbos, like, which is problem. Thursday he is permitted to rent it to idolaters. So on Thursday, like he's going to finish on Friday. So even if this non-Jew is not going to return this plow on Friday before Shabbos, still there is no problem. Because he rented when it was permissible, and he can return when he wants. If he wants to work on Shabbos, he can work on Shabbos. It's his own business. Okay. Lending items to idolater is permitted even on Erev Shabbos. So lending meaning for free. And here we said not only lend for free, but even with some kind of not payment, but some benefit. So what is the benefit? That I did this for you, and then you, when it's going to snow, you're going to shovel the snow for me. Okay, so that's a benefit, right? Or you're going to take care of something for me. Okay. Okay. So even if the items are used for melacha, right? So meaning to lend them, and they use it for melacha, provided that idolater takes them from the Jewish house before onset on Shabbos. Okay, so I mean, even let's say I'm just like making up the case. So this non-Jew said, look, I need it Monday 6 a.m. Can I can I do can you give me like on Sunday or something? He said no. They just said no. Right, Sunday I'm busy. I'm going to visit my cousin, this and that. So if you want, take now. Right. So meaning the non-Jew is not going to work with these utensils until Monday morning. Right. But he can still like take it on Friday afternoon. There is no problem. Right. So just because he gets now, that's what I'm trying to say. Does not mean that he's going to use it right away. Okay. That's my point. Okay. So let's see commentary. 21. If he takes items out of the house of a Jew on Shabbos, it would appear that idolater was instructed to carry it in private domain, from private domain to the public domain. Action that's forbidden on Shabbos. Right? Melacha choitzo, meaning transferring an item from one domain to another. So meaning it's very interesting point. Right, like besides that he's going to do something with item, there's another suspicion that we asked this non-Jew to transfer something for us on Shabbos. So the common example would be a knife. They forgot to bring a knife to the shul, right, for circumcision. So they want to do like bris milah on Shabbos, and this guy forgot his toolbox, right? I don't know, whatever it's called, like, right? This case, right? Of what do you call it? This guy, the guy who does sort of moil, right? So he has the whole case, or let's say the case was there in a shul, but he forgot like a scalpel in the house, right? So are you allowed to ask a non-Jew, let's say there is no Erev, to bring from the house into this into shul? So that's the question. According to Mishnah Berurah 246.9, if a city is enclosed by Erev, the Erev Tzuras HaPesach permits carrying items throughout the city, right? So meaning if there is an Erev, so they can anybody can carry item, but in this case it is a melacha, right? I mean, I apologize. Even this item that a person, this non-Jew, can do melacha, but at least he does not transgress this in public that he took from our house, right? Everybody saw that he took something from our house, but he's permitted to carry. So it's not nobody would say that he's carrying for us because right, it's muksa, we would not carry, right? So most likely he's going to carry it for himself, right? And he would use it for himself, and there is no problem with carrying. That's what I'm trying to say. It is permitted even on Shabbos to lend him utensils that are not used for melacha. Okay, so that's even easier, right? I mean we would understand not for melacha. What would it be? Maybe clothing or something. With regard to a usual like blanket or chairs, so he said, my mother-in-law came, can I borrow 3 chairs from you? Okay, so he can borrow chairs from us. I remember we lived like we always borrow from the neighbors, like everybody were on the poor sides, but and plus the apartments were very small, so you would go to your neighbors and borrow chairs. Right, and then they come to you. They borrow chairs when they have guests. With regard to utensils, there is used for a melacha. There is an additional concern that it might appear that idolater was instructed by a Jew to perform melacha. So, he's carrying it. So one thing, and people would suspect that he's we instruct him to do melacha for us. Therefore, even if it is being lent to idolater, and the city is enclosed by Erev, the idolater must take it from a Jewish house before Shabbos. So that's right. Right. That's according to all opinions. Okay. So if it's not for melacha, it could be lenient, right? It could be lenient that he can take on Shabbos. But if it's for melacha, for sure before Shabbos. Let's take it. Okay, 1 second. It was 31. Continue. Even if he stipulates that idolater, that in exchange for his favor, the idolater will lend him his own items on another time, it is permitted. So even it isn't some, as we said before, it's like the guy is deriving some benefit. So it's not for free. So usually lending is for free. So right. So I mean, somebody lend something to us, so we're eager to pay him back with a favor, right? Right. But even if it was stipulated before that they're going to return it with a favor, there is no problem. So commentary, for equal amount of time, right? So we borrow from him this, and he's going to lend us something else for equal amount of time, no problem. So it's not like it's extra, so it's like only compensation. Simishna Brura 246.1, regarding arrangement in which a Jew will receive the item of idolater for a longer period of time than he lend him his item. So this, as we understand, is a problem. So because in some sense it's considered to be payment. So meaning right. I mean, unless it can be calculated, otherwise I'm not sure. Right. So he borrowed him from this guy bucket and let him shovel. Okay. So okay. So let's read the whole sentence. Even if he stipulates that idolater that is in charge of even if he stipulates with idolater that in exchange for this favor, the idolater will lend him his own items for another time, it is permitted. And we do not say regarding this such a case. So it's all on Shabbos. Before Shabbos, there is no problem, as we said, right? And we do not say that such a case is like a rental. Likewise, the rent to rent him items that are not used as a melacha, it is permitted even on Erev Shabbos. Right, on Erev Shabbos. It is the right on Erev Shabbos. So I mean, preferable to do everything on Erev Shabbos. If the idolater removes items from the house of a Jew before Shabbos, okay. So on Erev Shabbos, so Erev Shabbos is what is Erev Shabbos? Like in the morning, it's considered to be Erev Shabbos. Right. So in my shul that I am the custom came, became. I mean, in all other shuls I never heard it, but in this shul they have custom to wish a good Erev Shabbos. Right. Like after the morning prayers. Okay. So meaning in the morning we still say Tachanun. It's very interesting because why do we still Tachanun? Because also you said Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. It says it's like it's too far away from Shabbos. Shabbos is going to be only at night, like in the evening, and today is early in the morning. So we don't say it is close to Shabbos, so we still say Tachanun. On the Mincha, on another hand, like even we pray early Mincha, let's say 12:30. Right, and Shabbos is going to be, I don't know, 6, let's say. I'm just making up numbers, right? So 12:30 you pray mincha, so like you already don't say the tachanun, but in the morning you do say. But still, in after the prayers, like after the prayers done, they would say good Erev Shabbos. Very interesting. Okay, so in commentary say, if the idolater takes an item out of the house of a Jew on Shabbos, however, it is prohibited for one who sees the idolater taking it out may think that the Jew rented it to him on Shabbos, so which is a problematic, right? And it causes, as we said before, maris ein, so people can suspect us that we do something wrong, even if we did not do something wrong, anything wrong. Or people might learn from us wrong thing. So they would say, yeah, he rented us. How do you know he rented? He did not see it. Did he hear that he rented? No. Okay, so that's right. That's two issues. They can suspect us, and they can. And second issue, they can learn from us like something wrong. Okay, so let me quickly check time. I think we have time for one more. Okay, so let's do one more and we finish with this chapter. Okay, and it says, this ruling, so it's number 11, this ruling that it is permitted to rent out items to idolater in aforementioned circumstances applies only when the owner does not take payment for Shabbos by itself. Right. Rather, the payment is incorporated into the payment for other days, as we explained like in very beginning. For example, he rents out the item for a month or a week, and the Jew tells the idolater for every week or for every month. So expression for every week or for every month. Give me such and such amount. Or even in a case where the agreement is that that for every 2 or 3 days it is permitted. Okay, right? Every 2 or 3 days it is permitted. No problem. However, payment on Shabbos itself, one is forbidden to take, even if one rents the item to idolater for a year. But each day is calculated independently, so it's not a good idea. So the person might think that he's smart and he wants to charge per day. It's not a good idea. Not for a Jew. There is he said to idolater, I am renting it to you for a year or for a month, and for each day, right? Give me such and such amount. So meaning you can keep for 1 month. We're going to explain, but for every day of this month, you're going to pay me such and such amount. So that's the problem. So he would not be able to charge for Yom Tov and would not be able to charge for Shabbos. Right, give me such and such. Even after the time passes, the idolater pays for all these days at once. It is forbidden to take payment that is due for Shabbos days, for sure. So, and then for Yom Tov, right? Since the days were calculated independently, it is forbidden to take payment for Shabbos rental when it is not incorporated in the payment of the weekdays, even for those items that are not used for melacha. Continue. And even rent for a room to live in. The prohibition of taking payment on Shabbos applies whether the payment is from a daughter or from a Jew. So, I mean, we're going to explain there is a loud way how to charge, and when services were provided before and services were provided after, so that there is no problem. For example, you're in a hotel, when you're moving in, let's say, I mean, in all the countries besides like Israel or like kosher hotels like around the world, so this example does not make sense. But in Israel, like if it's kosher hotel, so they allow you to check in on Shabbos on Friday night, right before Shabbos, and you're allowed to check out on Shabbos night. Like they give you 1 hour after Shabbos ends, which is very nice of them. Because in all other cases, all other hotels, they kick you out by 11 or 12. Like that's it, you have to be out. Because of course, I mean, they have to clean the room, prepare for the next customer, guest. I mean, that's understandable. But let's say in this case, the Jew rents only for 1 day. Yeah, he rents only for 1 day, but they had to clean the room. They have to do the laundry on the bed sheets, on the towels. They have to clean the bathroom, supply with toilet paper, shampoo, other things, right? So there is a lot of expenses involved before, and plus after he moves out, they still have to pay to a cleaning lady, right? They supply things, right, and other things, right? So meaning that he pays not only for staying on Shabbos, but what was done before Shabbos and after Shabbos. That's, I think it's a good example, like to memorize, to understand. But if it's only for one Shabbos, it's like for Shabbos period, it would not be allowed. So again, from the beginning with commentaries, and we're going to explain. This ruling that is permitted to rent item to idolater is in the affirmation circumstances, applies only when the owner does not take payment for Shabbos itself. So with that, like not on Shabbos, like of course it's after Shabbos, but only for one day on Shabbos, it's not allowed. Okay. Rather, the payment is incorporated in a payment for other days. So as and in my example of hotel, so meaning what happened before he moved, checked in, and what happened before checked out. So meaning like sometimes like if they check out like after Shabbos, unless they need rooms like desperately, they would do cleaning after like at that time. For example, there is like some people arrived at midnight, also possible, right? So they have enough time to clean up. But if nobody comes until tomorrow, like tomorrow, so maybe they're going to clean in the morning. I'm just guessing, right? So it would be like 3 days actually. Okay. Applies only when the owner does not take payment on Shabbos itself. Okay. Rather, the payment is incorporated in the payment of other days. We said it. For example, he rents out the item for a month or a week, and the Jew tells idolater, for every week, right? For every week you owe me this and this. So everybody knows when week starts, and everybody knows when this week ends. Like there is no nobody is asking, is included a Saturday or not included? So nobody's going to ask you. I mean, week is a week, okay? Or every month. So everybody knows, like, usually it's a good idea to start from the beginning of the month, first of the month, right? Everybody knows, like, months is a month. So this 800 or 500 that they pay you, no problem. So I mean, it includes all of the days of the month. Right, so that there's expression, give me such and such amount, right? So for every week, give me such and such amount. Or even if the case where agreement is for 2 or 3 days, it is permitted, right? So meaning for 3 days. So meaning he's Friday, Shabbos, and Sunday, let's say, right? He's going to stay. You say, give me for the whole stay. Okay, for the whole stay, it's going to be this and this amount. Okay. No problem. However, payment for Shabbos itself, one is forbidden to take, right? Even one rents an item to idolater for a year, but each day is calculated independently, right? So he rents him the car or something, right? For example, he says to idolater, I'm renting to you for a year or a month, right? And for each day. So I mean those expressions for a year, like I did, duration maximum for a year, right? But for each month you're going to pay me this and this amount. So that's the problem, right? So meaning right. So for not for each month, for each day, for when it's specified date, that's it. He's not allowed to take money for Shabbos on Yom Tov. Okay. So even as Kitzur say, even if he brings the whole amount at once, you have to reimburse him. Commentary, Simishna Berurah 306:20. Besides, authorities who allowed payment to be taken for the days of Shabbos in this case. I mean, right, if he bring, okay, so I think we can rely in very like desperate circumstance, but otherwise it's not like that. I mean, right, so he pays for a month, but he pays like for each day. So, but why would somebody do that? Because some months are longer, somebody shorter, so he wants to get extra money for this one extra day. So, right, if he said so, there is he may lose money for Shabbos. That's a bigger issue. Okay, continue. It is forbidden to take payment on Shabbos for a rental, even if it's not incorporated. It is forbidden to take payment on for Shabbos rental when it's not incorporated into payment of a weekday, right? So meaning, right, even for those items that are not used for milacha. So as we said, this apartment or something like hotel rooms, and even rent the room to live in. So that's right. So is it any milacha with the room? No, there is no milacha with the room, right? But for one day is not allowed. The prohibition to take payment for Shabbos applies whether the payment is from a daughter or from a Jew. Okay, so let's see the first commentary. And rent rule live in commentary. The prohibition applies also with regard to receiving interest of money deposited in a bank when interest is calculated on a daily basis. See Mishnah Brura 306:19. So we actually said there is no problem. I just want to remind us. We said why. Because our calendar starts with the night and then continue from the nightfall until the next nightfall. But non-Jewish calendar is not like that. They start at midnight, right? They start at midnight, so it's a new day. So the meaning that we actually always when it's Shabbos, it's always overlap. So it's partially Friday according to them, and partially Sunday, right, according to them. So which is good. Okay, so continue. Rabbi, according to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Zatal Igras Moshe Orachaim, volume 4, chapter 59. Since the bank based its calculation on civil calendar day, which begins and ends at midnight exactly, and interest for Saturday, which is paid for money deposited from midnight on Friday night, right? So meaning Shabbos to the next midnight, meaning on Shabbos, meaning meaning Sunday, right? Sunday night, Saturday night, midnight of Saturday night, and there is and therefore permitted, since the payment of Shabbos is incorporated into the payment for the time after Shabbos, meaning for us it's after Shabbos, right? Because it's midnight. Okay. However, when the Shabbos and Yom Tov follow one another consecutively, for example, Friday or Saturday is Yom Tov, right? So we said for sure it's when it's first day. So for sure when the first day it's a problem, right? Let's say Friday is the first day and Shabbos is the second day. Of course, there is a problem. Friday or Saturday, right? Yom Tov, or Sunday and Yom Tov. There will be 24-hour time span from midnight on Friday until the midnight Saturday night, from the midnight Thursday night the midnight of Friday night, for which the entirely prohibited to receive payment, interest, right? So what do? We just donate it anonymously, just put it in tzedakah and walk away. So nobody sees you, right? So you don't get any credit. Right. So it says one should donate such an interest, anonymously to charity, so that should not receive any benefit from it. So it cannot be deductible, nothing, because it's like a money that the person made on Shabbos. So of course, I did not have a choice. Can you call your bank and say don't charge me for this day? So you're not Mr. You have such a low deposit. Just go take to another bank, right? So nobody's going to do it. It's better based on a computer, like a few pennies they're going to move. Nobody going to do it. So right. So the only thing is to donate. Okay. For the further discussion and how the halacha with regard to the nursing home or similar business whose owner receives payment calculated on a daily basis, see Igros Moshe Orachaim 5, chapter 28:9. Halacha, authorities must be consulted. So for this was it, nursing homes getting, I guess they bill insurance or somebody they're being paid by day, right? And it's actually very good in business nursing homes. If people know what they do, I think that this guy who bought the Elal some time ago, right? He was I looked him up. So his father is actually he's in the United States. He's the owner of the chains of the nursing home. I mean, where else you would get the money? The guy was in Yeshiva. I'm not sure. It was many years ago. Who is the owner of the Elal? I have no idea, but that's what I heard. And I not heard that. That's what I saw. Okay. This prohibition applies also to wages for work performed on Shabbos. Okay, so meaning right, so you're not allowed to take payment. Okay. Okay, so meaning for rental or work on the Shabbos. That's why we said when we discussed in our Wednesday class, we said yes, you can be a waiter on Shabbos, right, as a Jew, there's no problem. So you'll be, because before the Shabbos starts, you bring all of the plates, all of these dishes, all of this, stoves with foods to warm up, it's the whole operation to set up. Right, so before Shabbos and after Shabbos, you come, clean up, and take all of the equipment and go home. Go not home, back basically. So right, so this job includes everything. Okay, so let me see. All right, so let's stop.